Spoiler warning. The following video contains spoilers for the board game Role Player Adventures. And some whining, but mostly spoilers. Thank you. Hey there folks, welcome to day 34 of my year of solo board gaming. We are in the middle of a Role Player Adventures campaign. We're currently on 6, that means this is the halfway mark. There are a total of 10 adventures plus a finale plus a follow-up, I guess, or a special adventure. We're going to go ahead and do this one. This is called Bogged Demon. The last adventure did not go well. We tried to escape from Colbeck Prison. We had some difficulty, and I went back and actually looked and seen what did we do wrong. And I figured out there was a couple things that we could have done better, but really, because we failed one thing, we were never going to succeed that well at anything else. But nonetheless, we're on adventure number 6. We are on the flee. We are an easily recognizable convict who's accused of killing the king, and so we're going to do the best we can with what we've got. So, where we're going to begin is on the map. There aren't that many locations. There's just 3 locations, 2 encounters, that's it. So hopefully this might be a nice quick one. When a rift opened over Sabek Palace, King Taran leapt into another plane, and you were arrested for his murder. You managed to break out of Colbeck Prison, but word will spread quickly that a Kingslayer is on the loose. Constant guards are no doubt already on your trail. Construct, not constant. And last you heard, General Grick marched your old regiment in this direction. Your path brings you to a wide, marshy delta. A gigantic mangrove tree breaks the otherwise flat horizon. Its massive roots embrace several small islands known as Boggroot Swamp, home of the Frogkin. You press forward into Boggroot, and the swamp grows increasingly humid, loud with the buzz of insects. And we are in Sandhill Village. Of course, we do the typical XP thing. You arrive at a small Frogkin village, and the residents swarm around you. They appear desperate for your help. An elder who introduces herself as Mugbok tells you that cultists came to Boggroot with imprisoned an infernal creature within the giant mangrove tree. Now a phantom of this creature torments everyone who travels these swamps' root paths. You come too late. I'm going to turn this way because I keep leaning a little bit too far forward. There we go. You come too late, says Mugbok. The rest of the Kingsguard are already hopelessly lost in the swamps. We are afraid to venture beyond our shores. You must help us purify the tree. Brave the swamp and bring us back whatever you can find. I can make a cleansing potion with the right ingredients. Mugbok walks you to the shore, which is crawling with starfish. She picks one out and hands it to you. For luck, she says. And I've already revealed the discovery card. It's this starfish here. Now use an item. Doesn't cost anything to use. We might as well use it. Let's see what happens if we just use the starfish. Mugbok looks at you skeptically. If I could fix our problems with the starfish, we wouldn't have any problems at all. She makes a sweeping gesture across the shore, which is crawling with the creatures. Alright, so, yeah, whatever. Let's go ahead and explore. So we've got an encounter here. We're going to get encounter 2. One of 2 encounters that we're going to come across here. 6-2. You have the keyword evade 646. Not the case. As you make your way across the fruit path, a group of construct guards surround you, weapons drawn. One construct steps forward and pulls a wanted poster from her bag. She consults the poster and looks you over. Confirmed, she says. Target, reacquired. Prepare for transport back to Colbeck. The other constructs approach with manacles and chains. So we can make a run for it, or we can convince them they've mistaken me for somebody else. Both require charisma, but one requires constitution and the other requires dexterity. So we're going to do the convince them that they've mistaken us for somebody else. So 630. You begin your speech assuring the constructs that they have somehow mistaken you for a dangerous convict, but they have their orders. Speechcraft 3. This is going to be a ball buster. All right. So, dice limit 8. We're going to need 3 purple, 3 green, 1 white or blue. So we'll take a blue. That seems like the easiest thing to just go for. We'll grab a... I guess we'll go ahead and just deplete ourselves of Constitution and Charisma. So we're down 5 already. I did boost my I decided to boost my health in the last round. I only had 2 XP to work with. And I think under 22, I'm going to have to check the rulebook when we get up that high. But at 22, you have to spend 2 XP to increase your health. Right now, it's still just 1, so we're just boosting that up as much as we can. We're going to get a dice limit of 8, so we got 3 more that we can add to this. Some of which really don't do any good. Oh, we get another purple. All right, that'll help. Okay, so lots of 6s, which does not do us much good. We got a 4, so we might as well cover the 4 right away. Yeah, really not looking good here. Trying to think of what I can do to mitigate this dice, and it's not looking friendly. 4, 6, 6. 6, 1, 4. Okay. So runic necklace would allow me to flip the 5, and I can adjust the 4 here. That might help. This will allow me to bring in another dice. This will allow me to bring in a 4. This will allow me to bring in a 5. Bring in a black dice, which probably is not going to help. This will allow me to adjust 2 separate dice, and I think I'm going to use the glaive first. The glaive is going to go into the spent, but this turns this into a 3, which allows me to get the XP. And this into a 5, which allows me to cover that. Alright, so it's good so far. Can I do anything with runic necklace? I'll have 5 cards that I can spend total. Plus 1. Yeah, I can do this to make this a 1. Actually, instead of the 5, I should have gone manipulate first, then glaive, because that'll give me the 2 that I need for here. So this remains a 6. I've used 2 so far. Don't know if this is really going to work. I've got 4 more that I can do. I can use 2 cards combined. The runic necklace and the wand. So now I'm up to 4 cards played. What that'll allow me to do is to flip this and then change it to a 2. So that covers that, and I get my other XP, which is really the important thing here. I don't see myself really getting this, though, because I only have 2 more cards that I can play. I can play the other runic crown, which allows me to adjust a blue dice up or down, but I don't think that that's going to be enough to really make a difference. The pit pocket allows me to flip 2 dice. That also is not going to make a difference. The 3-4 allows me to change a 3 or 4 to any color, so that would allow me to hit the green there. And then this allows me to change anything to a 6, but I don't have anything that I don't. Yeah, I mean, I could play this, but that's still really only going to give me the 4. So I don't think I'm going to be able to do this. I could also just re-roll the blue for free. Maybe that'll do the trick. I'm not sure how it's going to do the trick. I need to pull this out as a 6. Yeah, it didn't change. This allows me to look at anything as a purple, which I don't really need. Yeah, I mean, these two cards combined could give me could fill in the 5, but then I'd be out of cards to play. This allows me to pull a 4. I have 4 cards played. Even if I pulled the right colors, I don't think it's going to make a difference. Yeah, so there's nothing else I can do here. So I'm unable to convince them that I must fight my way free. 629. You are surrounded with no possibility of escape. As the constructs close in, you brace yourself for battle. Oh, good. So I'm going straight into a battle. Awesome. Yay. Swarm of constructs. So constructs and swarm. During the first round of combat, the combat dice limit is reduced by 3, minimum of 1. Are you kidding me? I might as well just this might do it for me. I know that sounds negative, but I think this might actually do it for me. I've been feeling frustrated that I don't feel like I'm in a position where I'm just constantly dying. Like, I don't think I've had a successful combat in a while. I'm going to have 1 die to use at the beginning of this. 4. Awesome. I can cover that. But because I'm coming into it, the skill check, technically I can bring these back. This I can't do anything with. So, so what I can do is I can use this Field of Ineptitude, bring in 3 more dice, and try to cover up some of this. But as it stands now, I'm looking at, I've got 6, I can take 13 damage. I've got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I'm going to take 11 points of damage if I can't cover anything here. So I'm not having fun with this, is essentially what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to look at things I can do. I could pull the dice, the Cursed Raven dice, so that might help. I'm going to put these, hide these a little bit. I've got 1 card that I can play now. I'm going to have a total of 6 cards that I can play with the bonus play. Alright, so that comes up a 6, which doesn't really do me any good in any of this. I can manipulate a white to make it... I'm going to pull a red. Maybe I can cover up one of these, like, just nasty dice. 2. Awesome. I covered up one of them. So that's going to help me get to the second round at least. So that's 2 cards. Runic Crown will be 3rd. That will allow me to make this a 5, and I've covered the other 3 damage one, so that's better. Can generate a 5. Kind of want something that will manipulate. I guess manipulate and then spellbook. So that's 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 will cover up. This will allow me to flip this to a 1, then manipulate it up to a 2, and I've covered up this one here. Now, if I want to do bonus play, I can pull out I can use, what is it, Dispel, but I don't think that that's really a good idea. I could, if I wanted to do the bonus play, cover up that blue, but that blue is also 0 damage and 0 reward, so there's nothing that comes out of that. So I think I'm going to hold off for now. I'm going to go to the next round of damage. That's going to be 2 for that and then 2 for that. So fortunately I've managed to mitigate a lot of what could have been really, really bad here. But again, I feel like this has just been really not, it's been difficult in a not fun way. Complain. All right. We are braced for battle. We get to go again. This time, at least, we get to pull 4 dice, but we are dealing with a deficit here. But I do have 2 cards that will allow me to pull colors that I need. So really, we just need to worry about getting that 5. And I think the 5, I'm not too worried about. So I'm a little worried, actually. Okay, so 4, 1, 3, 2. Yep. Okay, so class ability kicks in here. I can throw the 4 back. This becomes a 5. That gets covered. We get an XP. This 3 can just go there, and boom, we're done. Combat cleared. Good. You knock them into the swamp. 631. The constructs fight hard, but predictably, their movement rote and mechanical. Their movements rote and mechanical. When the last of them is safely under swamp water, a cool breeze crosses bog root, giving you a brief respite from the oppressive humidity. You pause to enjoy this moment of ease and freedom, knowing that this will not be the last of Coolbox efforts to recapture you. Return this encounter token to the game box. It's kind of weird. Rest or move to the next location. So we're obviously going to rest. We've got a lot of damage that we've got to deal with. So that goes back. This goes into swamp. And I'm sorry I'm being so negative. I need to keep in mind this is a dice game, so dice are going to play a huge factor in it. I feel like very early on, it was nice and enjoyable to be able to sort of build up some abilities, get some cards in there. But I feel like the last 3 adventures have gone so poorly, or the last 2 adventures have gone so poorly. That I haven't really been able to build up anything, and it's getting harder and harder to make it work. So discards come back. We are going to rest, so we're going to have to spend, I think, 3 XP, which I really don't want to spend. Take 3 dice out. We've got 10 fatigue here that we have to clear out. And fortunately, we do clear out all of it. So we're going to use this to help rebuild, but then the rest goes back to the box. I'm just going to leave right up there. Spent cards come back in here. And the class card gets flipped, and technically the rest token goes from this to this, but I never remember that. So there we go. That goes in here. And now we're on to the giant mangrove. All right. And then there's a whole bunch of keywords here. I'm not going to go through those, but we get that. You stand at the foot of the giant mangrove, which towers silently over you. Its many leaves rustle in a wind high above while you remain stuck in the oppressive swamp heap below. The trunk of the mangrove is as wide as a small village, but someone has tied a purple silk rhythm inscribed with silver runes around it. The Frogkin villagers were awfully upset about this tree and said that some evil force had taken possession of it. But you don't see any signs of devilry. Perhaps the evil phantom lurks somewhere on the inside. You can walk around the base of the tree and look for anything out of place, or you can examine the silk rhythm more closely. And we're going to do the latter because that requires intelligence and wisdom. The other one requires constitution and wisdom, but I think we're going to be better off with intelligence and wisdom. B3. You look over the runes on the ribbon, studying them carefully, attempting to discern their meaning. Now, if we were 3 or higher, we'd be able to get a benefit from this, but unfortunately we're not. Interpretation 2, you are... is the skill that we're going to check. And it's going to be this one. We're going to take 2 blue, 2 white, I think. Let's take 1 blue, 1 white. Because we can generate some of the other ones. We might get them by luck. All right. We'll still need to generate a blue dice. But because one of the blues is a 4, we might be able to just generate a 4 and make it, read it as anything we want. But let's see how this goes first, because we're going to have a lot of stuff here. So the 2 gets covered right away. The 3, I could use that to cover here, but I can also cover that with it. The 5 is not helpful. And then these are not helpful. All right, so let's see what we can do here. First thing I think I'm going to do is I'm actually just simply going to generate a blue dice. So, Vibrant, add a die of your class color to the die pool. So our first card, we have 6 cards that we can spend total. So 3, we get that covered. All right. Next up, we got the 2 4s I really need to cover. One needs to be white, one needs to be red. We do have the thing that allows us to look at, I think Manipulate's actually going to come in helpful here, because I want to cover the 4 first. But we're actually going to be able to generate a 4 too. So let's, before we do anything else, let's go to Enchant and pull another 4 out. Because right now, none of those 4s really help us. Blue. Okay, good. That actually covers one of the XPs that we needed, that we want to get. Now, it's a matter of getting this 3 and this 4 here. And I think we're at the point where there's only one more card we need to play. And that is... where is it? I have so many cards that do not help in most situations. Resolute. 4 is going to make this a white. That covers that. 3 covers that, and we have succeeded in our skill check. So, at the end of the skill check, we take the dice, put them back in the bag, we remove this. We don't have any discards, and we're going to make the rest token list. We're going to try to get these correct from now on. You are able to read the runes, B6. You recall the meanings of the runes and decipher them. This is an ancient holding spell that binds one physical form to another, and it is marked with the eye of the starlit door. Legs are cramping. A deep voice speaks from the air above you. Well deciphered. Not many of the frog people are able to read as well as you. You look upward and see a 7-foot-tall, horned shadow smiling down on you. I'm impressed. The shadow waves its hand at you, and you feel it's suddenly more powerful. Each player, add 1 stamina to any of your attribute rows, ignoring the current limit. We're going to go ahead and add 1 to strength. I think it's going to make a difference. Continue, B8. The shadow settles on the ground before you. I am Elsifor, at your service. I'm afraid I've been bound to this tree by some horrible spell. I can't go anywhere the tree doesn't go, and so I've been passing the time by getting to know the locals. Anything you can do to liberate me would be much appreciated. Actually, there is another small matter you might be able to help with. I'm having some trouble with a meddlesome woman in my new temple. The shadow sinks into the mangrove roots, and it's gone. Reveal discovery card 5. We're going to place an XP on it. Apparently decided to give Elsifor a really weird voice. So this is 2 square. There we go. We can now use an item, rest, or move to another location. We're going to rest. We're going to use 1 XP because we have to use 1 XP, unfortunately. But we're going to do a quick roll here. 2, they both come back. And I think at this point, now this comes here, I don't need to worry about flipping that. And I think I lose the extra XP, or extra stamina, unfortunately. Had I chosen not to rest, I could have just continued onward, but I feel like resting is just important. We can now use an item, so we're going to go ahead and use the starfish. I mean, there's no point not using the starfish. It's 0 fatigue. You press your starfish to the bark of the giant mangrove, and it holds as well as it can. It's not a good climber. Let's move to another location. We're going to move down to D, Frogkin Temple. All right, we're going to take the XP. Giant roots embrace the simple form of a stone temple. As you approach, you hear the sound of a hammer at work. You enter, passing through a low archway, and see a robed priest atop the statue of the Frog King god, Berklot, chipping away at the idol's face. A faithful devotee stands at the foot of the idol, begging her priest to put down his chisel. Elsifor appears in the air next to you. I know what you're thinking, and yes, it is odd behavior for a priest. I made him a deal. He could destroy the temple, or I could tell his little secret to everyone. Seems he'd rather keep his silence than keep his faith. The woman asks for your aid. She feels the priest can be helped, but she cannot pull him down on her own. Elsifor's voice whispers in your ear, "Don't listen to this pest. Toss her in the swamp." So we've tried to stop the priest or try to push the frogkin woman into the water. I'm tempted to just simply stop the priest. Let's stop the priest. After agreeing to help the woman, you work with her to pull the priest down from the idol. He desperately attempts to scramble back up, but the woman holds tight to his rope belt. The priest turns to fight. Elsifor's voice whispers in your ear, "What are you doing? Leave the poor man to his misery." Combat. Crazed Frogkin. Okay. So, Crazed. To play a weapon card, you must move one stamina from one of your attribute rows to your fatigue box. That's something to keep in mind. Frogkin. Alright. 3 dice. Constitution, Intelligence. Might be able to do this one. So let's go ahead and do 2 Constitution, because we can't do more than that. And 1 blue. And then we will worry about how to get another 3 out here. Because what I can do is I can hopefully pull a 4. Alright, that's not that helpful. I do have the ability to take any 3 and make it any color I want, so that might be how I get that other green. We'll focus first on getting these high damage ones out of the way, the 4, 3, and 3. So this one's first, because that's a 4, and so that gives me that. 4, 3, and 1. So can't do anything about. This is not going to do me any good right now, but hopefully I can flip. So this allows me to turn one of them down. The Runic Crown allows me to turn the other one down. And actually I can play the 2 Runics. Yeah, Wand is going to wait for a moment. I'm going to play the 2 Runic items because Runic items can both be played together as one play. And one will allow me to flip the green, and the other will allow me to adjust the blue. So now I've got a blue here. That'll get me 1 gold. I've got a 3 here. That'll just simply avoid damage. And now I've got 5 more cards I can play because I've not played my bonus yet. And I need to cover that 3 somehow. And I think what I want to do is I want to do a combination of cards. I want to do, let's see, enchant. This should work. It doesn't matter. I'm just going to pull an enchant out. Comes out the right color. Yay. Oh my god, it came out the right color. All right, cool. So enchant goes down here. I don't need resolute. I just need the wand to make this a 3. Wand goes into spent as well. And there we go. Now, I did not pay attention to whether or not I was using a weapon, so I should have moved this into here because of the crazed modifier, but that does resolve our combat. We've defeated the crazed Frogkin, which, I gotta say, this feels good to actually get a combat under my belt. D4. You bring him to his senses. You best the Frogkin beast in battle, and he finally gives in. As his hammer and chisel clatter to the floor, the faithful Frogkin woman takes his hand and leads him away. And as they go, you overhear her tell him, "You need to let the truth come out." When they are gone, Elsifor appears at your side. "Well, that was a horrible display. I expect better of you in the future." Reveal title card 48. Elsifor's not happy with me. Wah. And then continue to D8. So we get this. Triumph of the Faithful. We'll go ahead and clear the combat here first, and then we'll move on. Discards come back. Spent do not. Frogkin. I just saw a spoiler. I'm not gonna tell you. I just saw a spoiler, but I'm not gonna tell you. All right. D8. "I'll be honest," says Elsifor. "I'm still getting to know you, and I don't know if I can trust you yet. I took a peek at your past and saw that you were a member of the Kingsguard, wrongfully imprisoned and escaped from Kalabak. All this feels very promising, but what I need to know is how you'll respond to your fellow soldiers." Reveal discovery cards 12 and 34, and place an XP on each. $12, 34. 12 is Kingsguard Camp at 4 stars, so that's going to be down here. And 34 is the Abandoned Market at E1. That's over here. Now we also get to take 3 and 4 out of here. So I got 2 here, 4. There we go. Mix these up while I continue to read. Let's see. "General Grick and his other so-called friends in the Kingsguard came here to kill me, but they couldn't figure out how to get me out of this tree. Most of them are camped to the west with something precious. A few soldiers went on a scouting missions. I got them playing a little game in the old market to the east." All right, so now we can use an item or go to another location. We can also rest. We're going to go ahead and rest. We are going to use one of these to rest. Mess around. 3. I'm going to put 2 here, 1 here. This, we do make sure our attribute rows are full. But the 1 fatigue is going to stay here, unfortunately. So that's that. We're going to use a starfish here, D68. "You let your starfish crawl around on the rubble that fell from the face of the Frog King God. It seems to enjoy running its many tiny feet over the god's eye. The idol's mouth on the floor speaks. 'This does not please me,' he says." And then continue on. Okay. So we're going to go to the Abandoned Market first. I think we're going to deal with whatever fun thing is going on with the playing like a little game. So D4 or 6-4. If you have the accomplice Troll Slayer, or both of the titles Rogue's Accomplice and Troll Foe, then there's a different adventure. But we don't have either of those. We have Troll's Ally. The heat of Bogroot Swamp is so punishing that you climb off the root path down to the water to cool off. You find a muddy embankment where strange clothes lie scattered about. They are thickly made, like winter garb for mountain dwellers, but made of a fabric unfamiliar to you. Following the trail of this strange, discarded clothing, you find an orange-skinned creature, stripped nearly bare, with several roaming eye stalks, lying on the muddy ground, gasping for breath. The creature speaks gibberish to you at first, then it produces a mechanical box from its belt, which speaks, "Too hot," says the box, "must go home." If you have item 66 from the party journal, then blah. Otherwise, 6-1. Really? 6-1? Okay. In the oppressive heat, the work of climbing up... I don't feel like that's right. Is that right? I guess that's right. In the oppressive heat, the work of climbing up and down the mangrove roots is hard work. You pause to swat the bugs gathering to bite at the back of your neck and spy a ratfolk woman eyeing you nervously from the top of the rise in the root path. Thus, the woman holds a small knife and a wide metal bowl. She points her blade in your direction and instructs you not to approach her. I don't want any trouble. Tell me, so I know where you stand. Are you a friend of the Frogkin or to the shadow that torments them? So we can tell her that we're a friend of the Frogkin, or we can say that we prefer the shadow. Let's say the shadow. Let's go with the shadow. Maybe he's gonna help us out, or something. I don't know. Did we remember? We did not put XPs, by the way, on either of these. That is a mistake. There we go. The ratfolk's woman's face brightens when you announce that your allegiance to Elsifor. You hear sounds of claws scrambling up the sides of the root path from below you, and soon you are surrounded by ratfolk who appear pleased to meet you. A friend of the shadow is a friend of ours, says the woman holding the metal bowl. The frog skin stole this from our people hundreds of years ago, and they are getting their just punishment now. Perhaps you would like to see how it has always been used by ratfolk in our ritual. You can either watch the ritual or you can try to take it from them. Let's watch their ritual. I don't want to deal with combat again right away. The ratfolk woman sets her bowl down and fills it with swamp water. All the other ratfolk sit around her with their eyes closed. The ratfolk woman invites you to join them and then rings the bowl like a bell with a stick. It vibrates wondrously, making a hauntingly beautiful sound that modulates with the motion of the rippling water. Introspection 2. I don't think we're going to try too hard to complete this because I don't feel like this is that important. What strikes me as weird is it told me to then jump to an adventure that I already that I know is this one up here as well. So I don't want to deal with this adventure twice. So introspection 2. We're going to use 1 blue, I think. We're going to get 1 blue out of here. Now we take a total of 6 dice total. Alright, we got some stuff that can help. Not a lot. Kind of low dice overall. So we got the 1 covered, so that's good. That gives me that XP, and this covers the other XP. So I can see quickly how I'm going to get this. So let's take care of manipulate first. That's our first one. That's a discard. That makes this a 2. And then we need a 4 and a 3. What I can do... I'm trying to see if there's a better way for me to do this, because I can generate a blue with Vibrant. But I think the easier thing for me to do is produce a 4. I'm going to use the wand to make this a 3. So that's covered. I'm going to enchant, which makes me pull out a dice and make it a 4, and it's not the right color. But that's okay, because I can use Resolute, which makes that 4 any color I want. And I succeeded in the skill check. All right, so let's put these away. Let's flip this to rest. I'll actually do it right this time. Keep saying I'm going to do it right, and then I don't do it right. Let's see. We succeeded. You feel at peace. 849, 649. A great sense of peace flows through you, and the tone of the bowl hums quietly for several moments. You wish it would never end. When it finally fades completely, you notice the buzz of insects has ceased. It's as if all of nature were listening to the sounds. The swamp water in the bowl, once murky and foul, is now crystal clear and sweet-smelling. All take a sip from it and are refreshed. Roll 2 dice and return stamina from your fatigue box equal to the supply equal to the result. 2. Fortunately, that's all we had. Add a bonus play token to the party's journal, ignoring the usual limit. Rest and move to the next location on your path, and that's going to be the abandoned market. So We are going to... I don't want to rest. We're going to, first of all, get these back up to our full amounts. I kind of feel like I need to rest, but it kind of blows because I'm just going to use an XP. Because I think you have to use an XP when you rest. I think you have to. It's 11, I think. Spend 1 or more XP, and then you roll it and remove fatigue, but obviously we don't need to do that. And then we get to take all these back. And really the only reason I'm doing this is because I feel like the discards, the spent cards, were really important for future. But then the rest of it is that. Yeah, so as part of resting, any attribute that you beefed up, plus with an extra one, gets reset. And that's, generally speaking, why it's not great to rest sometimes. But we are at E, Abandoned Market. So we're going to take that. In the center of an abandoned marketplace, 3 Kingsguard soldiers battle each other. 4 already lay dead nearby. A bottle of blue fluid rests on the ground in the middle of the fray. Elsifor appears beside you, looking pleased. I poisoned them all, but provided only enough antidote for 1. 2 were noble enough to take their own lives immediately. 2 more died in battle. And now this. He nods to the remaining 3, who point their swords at each other while clutching their own bellies in pain. Here's the secret. The poison only makes you sick if you do violence against an ally. Do nothing and you'll feel just fine. So here's your test. You can stay here and watch with me and watch them die. Okay, so... we can either try to convince the soldiers to stop fighting each other or watch them die. And I think we are going to have to try to stop them from fighting each other, which is strength and charisma, neither of which we have a whole lot of. But we're going to go to E2. You step into the fray and do your best to appeal to the wisdom of the remaining Kingsguard soldiers. You explain the situation to them. A wicked shadow tricked them, and the poison only hurts them because they hurt each other. And if they lay down their arms, they will all survive. They look at you suspiciously. They're too dumb. You're wasting your time. Skill check persuasion. And fail probably means I'm going to have to fight them. So I don't want to fail. So whatever I need to do. So let's see. Persuasion is here. So we're going to need 1 blue, 2 purple, and 1 red. We are going into this with as much loaded for bear as we can. We do have the ability to... I think 1 red is the one I'm short. We do have the ability to generate a 5 and then make that 5 a red thanks to weak and gather power. I think those are the 2 names. But our goal here is to get out of this skill check. And fortunately, we got another red, so that's good. Did I take a white or I meant to take a blue? I'm sorry. There we go. All right, that's right. All right, let's look at what crap we have. So first of all, I've got the 5. That's covered. The 2 and the 6 both are not great. They both need to be adjusted by 1, but I've got a glaive that does that. Glaive, yes. So glaive goes into the spent, but does allow me to adjust both purple die by 1. So I've got the 2 purples covered, and that is 1 more XP. Now the 2 1s. Now, one of the 1s... Oh, sorry. And I think at this point it is going to be a piece of cake to do this. So the runic crown and the wand together will make this 3 a 1. And then I've also got weak. Yeah, and there we go. And that'll be it. So good. We didn't even we barely touched our cards. That'll go into the discard. That'll make this a 1. So we get 1 more XP out of it. and we use Runic, Crown, and Wand together to make this 3 go down to 2, and then go down to 1. And that covers that, and we successfully done our skill check. So again, pull these dice, put the skill book away, turn the rest token. Now, they lay down their swords. The soldiers lay down their swords and immediately begin to feel better. They thank you and begin to wander back to their boat. It's sad, really, says Elsifor. Once they find out that you've escaped from Kulbak, they'll be back here to round you up and kill you. Your compassion is wasted on them. But you know what? We all have room for growth. What you need is a change of personality. E12. Elsinore vanishes and then appears behind one of the market stalls, now decorated with a colorful sign that reads Elsifor's Personality Shop. Step right up, calls Elsifor. For a few gold, you can be the owner of some fine new personality traits. You find several small ice slugs climbing up the side of Elsifor's market stall. Spawn of an ice worm from another plane, he says. You should have one. Elsifor places one on your shoulder. Revealed discovery card 66. This is the discovery card that would have helped us out before. We didn't have it, so c'est la vie. C'est la vie, c'est la vie. Ice slug, yummy, yummy. And it costs 1 to use. Shuffle the trait deck and reveal 2 cards. Place them face up next to the adventure map to create a market. So trait are the blue ones, I think, at the bottom. Yeah. We've not recorded a keyword yet. I think that's pretty cool. That's interesting. I was hoping for a short one, but this is not going to be a short one. So honest and courageous. So this is interesting. This allows me to make anything green or purple. And this allows me to make anything green or white. Now the green thing is helpful because I do have a lot of manipulation as far as green goes. Same with white, less so with purple. I think having something else that would help change something to purple would be really helpful. So I think, do I have 6 gold? I think I have 6 gold. I have 5 gold. I don't have enough gold. I'm 1 short. All right, so we'll leave those there and we can come back and do it. So we can use an item, rest, or move to another location. And I think what I'm going to do first, so first we fill up our attributes. I need to start doing this in the right order. So we're going to fill up our attributes. We're going to use an item. We're going to use the ice slug and sea starfish together. Now this is probably the bad place to do this. You set your starfish and the ice slug on the counter of Elsifor's personality shop. The other slugs gather around and welcome them both. Huh. What kind of test might we devise that would help to get us know them better? You take your starfish and ice slug back before you can answer that question. Let's try just using the starfish. You set your starfish on the side of the market stall near the ice slugs. It seems nervous at first, while the slugs gather slowly around it, but soon it has made many friends. You see, it's not so hard to get along once we all know each other. It's another item. Let's just use the ice slug. I can do this. I can do this. That 4 goes away, by the way. 66, 68. Sorry, 66. We're just doing 66. You inspect the ice slug closely. It is cool in your hand, a wonderful contrast to the incredible heat of the swamp. You let it crawl across your brow and feel refreshed. Each player return 3 stamina from your fatigue box to the supply. That's nice. Rest, move to another location. We're going to rest. We're going to do a quick rest. That should have come back already. These can come back. We have to spend 1 XP to rest. 6. Cool. We are fully healed. This flips over and we go on about our way. Let's head back to the giant mangrove. Let's see. I think I was supposed to go through the giant mangrove first. We still don't have any keywords. Elsifor floats listlessly around the base of the mangrove. Well, have you come to finally free me from this wretched tree? You can either use an item rest or move to another location. Let's move to another location. Let's move over here to the Kingsguard, and we'll flip an encounter. So we got 3. I still feel like that 6-1 was just wrong, the way that it did that. If you have the title Haunted 6-5, we do have the title Haunted, something we picked up in the last adventure. As you traverse the bumps and dips of the giant mangrove roots, you are surprised to see Elsifor chatting casually with the ghost of Katandor. Elsifor sees you and approaches, shaking his head. Today is a lucky day for you. Katandor is rightly upset about the loss of his horn. He wants to nail your tongue to the shell of a snapping turtle and throw you into the swamp. But I've talked him into giving you a choice. You can either have a trial by turtle, or you can make a blood offering to Urkabonk, the kobold god of vengeance, begging his forgiveness. What do you think? You can either take the turtle test or make a blood offering. And there's no skill check after blood offering. There is a skill check after turtle test. The turtle test is strength and constitution. I don't know what make a blood offering is. Make a blood offering feels like I have to give up some cards, and I don't want to do that. So we're going to take a turtle test. Elsifor snaps his fingers, and you find your tongue nailed to the shell of a giant snapping turtle. You take a deep breath and hold it as Katandor pushes you over the edge of the root path into the murky swamp water. The turtle dives deep into the muck in an attempt to shake you. You'll have to pull yourself free, hopefully without ripping your tongue, before the beast drowns you. Still holding your breath, you brace yourself for the pain. Endurance 2. I like my skill checks. I like my skill checks. I like my skill checks. Yeah. All right, Endurance 2 is going to be a lot of red and green. So we're going to use all 3. And get 2 green and 1 red. We can also use 1 black, and we'll go ahead and do that, because I really do want to pass this check. And then we're going to get 2 more dice on top of that. Actually, I take that back. We're going to put the black back, because that 4 can be covered. No. I have to stop thinking that my combo for the 4 is always going to be available, because I've got 2 4s here, and I probably need 1 to cover that green there. So 2 more. Unhelpful colors at best. All right, let's look what we got here. So first up, 4s automatic. There we go. That's done. We've got a 2 here. That's going to cover that. And so there we go. We got a 3, a 6, a 6, and a 1. We do not have anything really that useful. If I could lower the green by 2. So I can use the wand to lower it. Or raise it. What can I do here? I need to raise that red by 1, and that's going to be really difficult, because I have so little to work with here. The gray matter robes would allow me to keep re-rolling dice. Gain power is a 5. Jade Gauntlet makes that a 6. I can pull a black dice. I can flip a blue dice. I have 7 cards I can actually play, because I have 2 bonus tokens. But I can flip the 6 to make that a 1. I can convert that 1 to a 2, and then convert the 2 into a red. I can flip the 4 so this gets me the red 2 with this. This gets me the green 4. But I still need a way to get that to be a green 1. So I think what I need to do is I need to pull all right. So before I do any of this, I'm going to use the grin taker to pull out a 4. Pull out a green. We're going to hope for the best here. 5. Not great. I think I might be able to do it. That's a white. Pull those aside. Okay. This is not going to be easy. But essentially the Mystic Robes allow me to do this. And if I can get... If I can get... what do I need here? If I get a 4, I'm good. If I get a 1, I'm good. If I get a 6, I'm good. I need a 1, 4, or 6. And the reason is that I can still use my class ability to combine the 1 and the 3 to just knock that out. So let's go ahead and re-roll twice and hope for the best. 1, 4, or 6. 4. Okay, good. That takes care of that. That uses that item. This goes back in. We still need some other stuff here, though. How am I getting that 1? I think I messed up. Oh, I messed up, didn't I? I can try this and try to get a 1 out of it. I got a 3. That's not going to be any good. That was exactly what I had before. Am I not going to succeed on this? I don't think I'm going to succeed on this. So let's pull this aside for a moment. These 2 dice here. So we got 2 cards played. This is 3 and 4. This turns this 3 into a 2. Into a 2 that goes on the red. All right. Then I need some way to... I need some way to get the 1. And I don't think I have any way to do that. So I mean, I can try gray matter. That'll be my 5th card played, which means I do that. That's still there, but that means I have to pull a green out, and there's only 3 greens left, so it's pretty unlikely that I'm gonna be able to do this. Yeah, 5. And the rest of this, I think, unfortunately, is not going to make a difference. I don't have anything else that can adjust green down, and I don't have anything else. I can pull the Field of Ineptitude, but I feel like that is a waste. That's really frustrating. Very frustrating. Okay. So those all go back in. I've failed the skill check. I did get at least 2 XP out of it. I think I added them both. Alright, so... You pass out. 641. After struggling helplessly to free yourself from the back of the snapping turtle, you black out deep beneath it under this murky swamp. Sometime later, you awaken, sopping wet and spitting up muck on the root path. "Well, I couldn't just let you drown," says Elsifor. "Where's the fun in that? Anyway, I was impressed that you chose the trial by turtle. It is something that kobolds take very seriously. Cottendor, on the other hand, was not at all amused by your performance. He'll enjoy taking his revenge on you the next time you meet." You search your bag, but cannot find Cottendor's horn. "You've confirmed Cottendor's worst assumption about you, but I won't hold it against you. In fact, here's a memento for you." Find Ancient Tortoise in the familiar deck and add it to one player's hand. Return the Cottendor Horns object card to the rare deck. Okay, so first up, Ancient Tortoise. And I believe that means we also have to take the dice that goes along with it, which is this white-red. We should have just gone ahead and used the Cottendor Horn while we were here. That would be adding 3 stamina to their fatigue box from the supply and gain 1 XP. C'est la vie. 37. This is going to go back in. Roll 1 dice and add a number of stamina to your fatigue box from the supply equal to the results. We'll get a nice low roll. 2. Not too bad. And then we can rest and move to the next location on our map. So 3 goes away. We'll go ahead and restock our supply here. We'll do 2 XP, which we just earned, which is really frustrating. But essentially that will take away all of this. And we'll roll 2 dice. 5. Almost all of it. I can use this to help restock. 2 of these go away, and we've got 1 extra here. All right. So we're going on to the Kingsguard Camp. We've got that claimed, and now let's go ahead and start location F. The Kingsguard Camp is an eerie sight. The orcish General Glix and his soldiers stand, staring skyward, all fixed in place. The form of a gigantic worm made of ice towers over Grick and his soldiers. It, too, is frozen in place. An unattended cooking fire still crackles in the center of the camp. Let's see, F3. Elsifor explains the scene to you. "When your cloaked countrymen bound me to this awful tree, they exposed a trinket and opened up a rift to the frosty plain of Ictel. This friendly creature fell right through and attacked an otherwise boring collection of soldiers. I thought it would be best to hold him in place here until you got here." Elsifor floats across the camp to a sword with a red metal hilt, lodged firmly into a root stump. "Recognize it?" Elsifor asks. "It is the sword of the immortal knight, a sacred treasure to Nalos, and a fine blade as well." The shadow snaps his fingers. Instantly, the whole camp comes to life and scrambles to defend themselves as the iceworm opens its face, revealing a cavernous maw full of jagged fangs. Elsinore floats over to you and watches you with interest. What will you do? You can either help the troops fight off the iceworm, or you can help yourself to the sword while they are distracted. And I think, as much as I would like that sword, I think I gotta help them. And what I'm hoping is that by helping them, I will restore my, gain some stuff. So I'm going to help them fight. You charge to the defense of the Kingsguard. Elsifor shrugs. "Oh well, good luck, I suppose." As you head into battle, another member of the Kingsguards takes up the ancient blade and charges towards the beast. He is immediately lifted up by its icy jaws and thrown deep into the swamp. Combat Icy Worm. Alright, we gotta win this combat too. Icy Worm or Ice Worm? Ice Worm. My apologies. So it is going to be a lot of white and red. White and blue, actually. So we'll go ahead and splurge here. We'll do 2 white. I'll do 1 white and 2 blue. We're going to get one more for combat. I think we're going to go ahead and pull out a red as well. And that's it for combat. We've got 4 combat. That's all we can take. Okay, so on the plus side, 6 covers up that, and that automatically gives us 1 XP. The rest of this is looking like garbage, though. So I think, where do we want to start here? So if I generate some extra dice, that will help, but I really need to cover that 2 first. And I think that's probably my priority. So I think we're going to pull the Ancient Tortoise out, maybe? So that's 1. We'll have a total of 7 cards that we can play, so that's huge. So we still have that extra bonus that we haven't gotten rid of yet. I feel like the familiar dice I should just set aside. But I think that's supposed to be part of it, is that you can sometimes just pull the... There it is. Sorry. There we go. All right. And that's why. So that covers the 6 there. That's excellent. Okay. We can also... What else can we do here? We can go ahead and pull a blue. We'll use... Vibrant. So that's 2 cards. We have 5 that we can play without bonus plays, and then 2 more bonus plays. So our goal is to try to finish off this ice room in 1 round of combat. We get a 1. And what I want to do is... I don't need that red anymore, so I can use my class ability. And that will actually... No, I'm not going to use it for that. I'm going to use my wand. That's 3. This makes this a 2. That covers that, and I get 1 more XP. Plus, I've also now dealt with a lot of the really nasty stuff. This red goes back, makes this a 5. That covers the 2. So nothing else gets added there. Then we're going to go ahead and generate a 5 with Gather Power. That's 4. We have 1 more card after this. Sorry, this should just be a 5. And then, unfortunately, that did not work. And I think I messed up here. I should not have done Gather Power. I should have gathered a white card. It's too late now. 5th is to make this a white, because I can use Resolute for that. And then, as a 6th play, I'm going to cast Spellbook. So that uses one of my bonus play tokens. And that puts this up to a 5. But now it's a white 5, so that covers that. And that just leaves the 2. Now, I could generate a... Yeah, there's no way that I could have done it otherwise. If I had 2 more plays, I could make this into a purple 2. I don't have that ability right now, so unfortunately I'm going to have to accept this as is. But I think I'm going well into the next round. So this goes back in. We are going to move to the 2nd round, and I really do need to start using the markers more. So we're going to lose 2 XP, unfortunately. We're also going to gain 1 stamina of damage. And then we're going to go again. We're going to get 4 dice. And I think I'm pretty well set to defeat this thing. All right, there's something that will give me a purple at least, so I don't have to worry about that. Yeah, okay, so we don't need any cards. We just got it. All right, so we defeat the ice worm. Dice go back in. Round marker goes back up here. Ice worm goes back into here. Ice worm. And we've defeated it. Discards go back into the deck. F5. We've defeated it. You slay the beast and must face the King's Guard. I just helped you out. You slay the ice worm, and the remaining members of the Kingsguard gather around you. General Glick steps forward with his axe shoulder. You can tell that he and his soldiers recognize you from your meeting near Black Lake, and you get a sinking feeling at the pit of your stomach. If the news of your trial and escape from Kulbak has reached Big Boggroot, you are about to get caught. But General Glick gives you a hard punch to the chest, the traditional orc expression of gratitude. "You've done well," he says. "My compliments to Zalek for sending you to us. Perhaps you will have better luck in this rotten swamp than we have." Glick explains that he and his soldiers must move north to the abandoned lands. He orders you to remain and chase Elsifor out of Boggroot. Glick's opinion will likely change once he learns of your alleged crime, but for now, as he leaves with his soldiers, you've escaped justice and retain his trust. Reveal title card 52. 52, it's the number of cards in a deck of cards. Glick's Soldier. Continue to F10. You are now alone on the small island among the roots of the giant mangrove. The cooking fire still smolders. Its coals glow brightly. Use an item, rest, or move to another location. So first up, we are definitely going to rest. That means we're going to lose this bonus play token, which is sad. We're going to go ahead and use 1 XP. We're going to roll some dice. We're going to get 4 back, or heal 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Still have 2 more damage, but we get all our spent cards back. And now we can start taking a look around. So let's go F68 because that is probably the easiest thing to do. You set the starfish near the smoldering campfire. It crawls away. Bogfoot is already hot enough without it sitting next to burning coals. We're going to go to the Ancient Observatory, actually. So, and this is what I meant earlier. That's a 1. We've already done 1. And I don't want to do it again. So, I feel like that was a mistake that we did up before. And I'm not sure there's anything that we can do that would help be beneficial. So I'm going to call it, and just as a audible, I'm going to say that this is not applicable. C1. Because I mean, how many rats are we going to run into here? So C is up next. All right, Ancient Observatory. We're going to take the XP. The roots of the mangrove used to extend to this island, but they have been sawed off several feet from the shore. Their stumps painted with the eye of the starlit door. Within the observatory, you find that the dome's ceiling and walls are still painted with the murals of the heavens, marking each constellation. The great lenses once used by the ancients to observe celestial movements have fallen and cracked. Statues of frogkin villagers pose in states of surprise, amongst the chunks of broken glass. As you marvel at the work of the ancients, you hear the sound of an animal sniffling around in the dark corner of an observatory. Something has detected your presence. Charge at the sound, or hide and see if you can sneak up upon it. And we're Dexterity Con, and we're going to go ahead and sneak. You hold still and attempt to hide yourself from a pair of red eyes searching the dark. Concealment 2. So this is going to be Dexterity and wisdom to some extent. So we'll do Wisdom. We'll do 1 Dexterity. That's 1 black, 2 white. And I think I got to pull a green out as well, which I don't like because that's going to give us 6 fatigue. And then we get 2 more dice on top of that. All right, so the black and white one is going to help. But yeah, that's not good. Oh, hello. That covers that. That was quick. A lot of low dice, actually. That 2 gets covered. That is not going to be that helpful, but that can actually go and get added to one of these to make 5. So that's our class ability. That goes back in the bag. Now we're left with a 1 and a 1. So what do we do here? What do we do with a Klondike bar? So we have 5 cards that we can play, and the first thing that we can do is very easy. We can I'm looking for it, sorry. We can enchant to produce a 4. The black 4, great. Oh, it is. Cool. Awesome. So we have 4 more cards that we can play. We can use Spellbook. Part of it is I have nothing that manipulates a black dice. The Cursed Raven would allow me to re-roll this, and I guess that's probably my best bet, is to re-roll. And hope for the best. However, because that is a white die as well, I can use Spellbook here. At least I think that I can do this. If I can't, I'm sure I'll hear about it in the comments, but this will cover the 3. There we go. I get my other XP, and we've successfully completed the skill check. This gets moved to that. Let's go back in, and there we go. All right. You are silent and remain unseen. You hide behind the ruined frame of the observing lens and wait in silence, watching the eyes. You see them search the observatory, find nothing, and then lower themselves to the floor and close. Soon you hear the deep breathing of a sleeping creature. Feeling your way forward, you discover the long body of a basilisk coiled near one of its eggs. You heard basilisk eggs can fetch a good price from the right buyer. It's slimy and it smells awful, but you tuck it into your bag. Your movements wake the sleeping creature, who is startled and scurries off, seeking a safer place to build her nest. Reveal Discovery Card 97. Basilisk Egg, yay! You discover an indentation in the wall that is shaped like a 5-pointed star and set in the crown of the constellation Marin, the dragon god of the sea. Use an item, rest, or move to another location. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to do rest. We're going to pull an item from there. We get 4 healed. We'll use that to bump up this. Still have 2 fatigue. Kind of the same way that we started. But on the plus side, we have 1 extra XP now. There we go. We can use an item. We might as well try the basilisk egg and the starfish together. Well, let's go with starfish first. You try to press the starfish into the indentations of the wall. It's the perfect size, but it wriggles its arms and won't stay still long enough to fill the space. It's unfortunate, but that does give me an idea. If it can't stay still, maybe we attach the ice slug to it, and it will stay still. 68. You let your starfish and ice slug explore the ancient observatory together. They find a private corner and have a little chat. 97. You inspect the basilisk egg closely. It really does smell horrid. Want a taste? Yes, choose one player to lick the basilisk egg. Why not? Why not lick a basilisk egg? You lick the basilisk egg and are overwhelmed with waves of nausea. You have to lie down on the floor for some time before it passes. Yeah, the gray egg is gross. Add 3 stamina to your fatigue box from the supply. Well, that was stupid. All right. We can still use another item. We can try 68.97. You hold up the starfish and the basilisk egg, looking at them from below against the mural of the stars. The starfish and egg look like heavenly bodies floating through space together. It's not doing us any good. Let's head back to Sandhill Village. And maybe the basilisk egg is what she needs. Mugbok sits on the shore eating passing insects. She welcomes you. Use an item. So we're going to use the basilisk egg. You show Mugbok the basilisk egg covered in foul-smelling mucus. Oh no, she says. That won't do at all. You'll have to find somewhere to burn all that slime off. It's no use to me otherwise. Okay, so that's helpful. We're going to go back to the Kingsguard Camp. The shore is empty and quiet. The vacant tents of the Kingsguard rustle in the breeze. A lone cooking fire still smolders, its coals glowing red. So now we're going to use the basilisk egg here. You place the basilisk egg into the hot coals, and the slimy coating around it begins to dry and flake away, revealing a lovely light blue shell underneath. Return 97 to the discovery deck and take card 83. Baked basilisk egg. Bet that's tasty. All right. Now we're going to go back to Sandhill Village. And we're going to go ahead and offer that up. $8.83. You show Mugbok the baked basilisk egg, all clean and pretty. Oh yes, she says with uncharacteristic enthusiasm. This will do nicely. A2. Mugbok hops quickly into her hut with the baked basilisk egg and returns a moment later with a blue potion. A potion of purification, she says. This is just what we need. Pour it at the base of the mangrove. She hands it to you and wishes you luck. May Burklop be with you. Return discovery card 83 to the deck. Come on. And read discovery card 73. Potion of Purification. This will cost us 1 to use. So now, let's go to the giant mangrove. B. If there's no XP at this location, Elsifor floats listily around the base of the mangrove. Well, have you come to finally set me free from this wretched tree? Yes, we're going to take an XP, take a fatigue, and we're going to use 73. You pour the potion of purification over the roots of the giant mangrove. The fluid sinks in, and the roots start steaming. B21. The earth shakes. The water across all of Bogroot ripples, and Elsifor suddenly leaps from the trunk of the mangrove, swelling to twice his normal size. You've done it! Aren't you clever? Now let's see how you did with my little tests. Record the keyword purged. Return discovery card 73 to the deck. There's a couple keywords here that I don't remember ever having the opportunity to write down. So I'm kind of curious as to how I was supposed to come across those, but otherwise, B16. Elsifor shakes his head. It's sad, really. I had hoped you would amount to something, but you're no better than the rest. Elsifor towers above you as his smoke grows dense and menacing. His claws extend like daggers as he lunges for your chest. Combat! Elsifor. Awesome. We're starting going into this with 7 fatigue, so we're fucked. Pardon my language. We are effed. We are effed in the A. That is a lot of dice. Holy cow. That is a lot of dice. We're not gonna make it out of this, are we? I'm really not happy about this. I'm really not happy. So we're gonna take a blue and a red, I think. That's gonna put us up at what? We're gonna be at 8, 9. But I need to make sure there's at least one. We don't need the red. I mean, we don't need the blue. We need the red. We'll need a black, I think. Actually, no, we can probably get away with not doing the black as well. Purple, maybe? I don't know. Let's keep it there. We're going to draw 3 more dice. We're going to need a lot of dice to generate. We're going to generate a lot of dice as part of this. We're at the 2 reds. That's good. All right, here we go. So the amount of damage that he'll do is, by the way, 2, 2, 3. That's 7, 11, 13, 16, 19, 20, which would be fatal anyway. I've already got 8 damage, so I can only take 11 more. So my goal is to make sure he can't do more than 11 damage. All right, so 5, that gets covered there. We also need this here. So that's first and foremost. We're going to need to generate some dice. So we're going to automatically call in our Ancient Tortoise and Cursed Raven. We're just going to pull them in. We need these dice. And hopefully they will come up with... Why can I not find this Ancient Tortoise in here? Like, this happened before with trying to pull it out before. I don't want to dump it all out again, but I think I kind of have to. There we go. There it is. Okay, so red 6. I'm going to use that to cover this one. So that's another XP, thankfully. I've got a black 2 here, or a white 2. I've got a 5 here. So I've used 2, and I'm going to be able to generate a total of 6 plays total. And I think pretty much a lot of it's going to have to do with generating the extra dice I need for this round. But let's go ahead with generate black first. And roll. Oh, sorry. I need to pull a black dice. That was stupid. Okay, so 3. It's not great. So let's look at what I've got here. I can use my spell book to take out one of these. I'm going to use weak, actually. I think first and foremost. So that's 3 cards, and I've got 3 more that I can play. So that 2 covers that. That's 1 more down. I think actually I'm going to do that with this one, because I'm going to use Jade Gauntlet as my 4th play, and that was 5th play, so I've played 5 cards now, but that turns this into a 6, so that will take that out, and so now we're down to 1. And then that is 5 cards. I can play a 6th if I do my bonus play. And I've also got some leeway as far as adding things together. So if I could change this 3 into a 4, that would be my best bet. I think what I can do is I see what I can do. I can do Resolute to use the bonus play to make this 4 any color. That will go there. It's 1 more XP. I can use my class ability to take this 3. That'll up this to a maximum of 6, so that will cover that. And so what we've got left is 3 damage and 2 of these black dice, which I'm not sure I realized what they are. Keep that open. Oh, -2 from our attribute rows. That's kind of interesting. So we're going to lose 2 from here to go into the next round. Plus, we're going to get 3 damage. Now, on the plus side, I still have my generate a dice of any color that I want with the Grim Taker. And that will cover, this white one. Oh yeah, I can do that. I'm going to actually spend 1 more stamina here for this next round. That'll bring me to 12. I can do 7 more. It'll generate a black dice. And the reason I'm doing that is because I want to use most of my dice to focus on getting a white die to color that last one. This, 1, 2, 3. Got a white dice, so that's half the battle right there. Okay, yeah, I've got it. I've got it. Got it. I've 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 got it. Spellbook. 1 card to play to make that a 1. And I have done it. I have beat Elsifor. Holy moly. Oh, that feels good. Okay. Where was I? B16. You withstand his attack. B19. All right. So we can go ahead and move all these back in here. This is going to go here. This gets flipped to rest. This gets taken here. This goes back into the deck. 11. Elsifor is startled by his own defeat. I really am impressed, he said. I can't wait to see what you do next. With that, he vanishes into a wisp of black smoke. All right, so we get some adjustments here. Dragul, down 1 more. Starlet, up by 1. And then there. Reveal title card 50, and our quest is now complete. We can either rest or move to another location. Elsifor's Banishor. All right, that feels good. Okay, so I can do a couple things here. I can continue to wander around and look for things. I feel like the ice slug needs to be of some benefit. I'm also at 12 fatigue. And while I could use some of that fatigue, I could rest. I don't think I'm going to. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to head back over here to the Ancient Observatory, because I can just do that. So see. We may now study the mural of the heavens more closely. I had to wait for the starlet to get up to 3 to be able to do that. Since your youth, you've known that each star in the sky is a window into another world. If this were a giant tall enough to reach the heavens, it could peer into every realm of the planiverse. I'm going to start that again because I think I misread that. Since your youth, you've known that each star in the sky is a window into another world. If there were a giant tall enough to reach the heavens, it could peer into every realm of the planiverse. Azima the Benevolent framed those windows, arranging them in constellations that represent the pantheon of dragon gods, in whose image she forged Ulos, and in whose name she brought order to the planiverse. Looking at this mural of the heavens, you feel drawn skyward. Something deep within you knows that the gate of Bazur Wall will soon open. Azima will return, and Ulos will be rejoined with all the worlds beyond those stars. You feel inspired, connected. The stars of the mural begin to glow, reflecting the radiance you feel emanating from within. Choose a player, increase your Cha attribute score by 1, and add 1 stamina to your Cha from the supply. So this goes up to 3. Get to add 1 to here. We can now use an item, rest, or move to another location. We also record the keyword sky, which basically makes this a one-time only thing. We still have not figured out how to use the starfish and the ice slug, have we? And we're not going to have that many opportunities to use the ice slug. But let's head back to the village. And let's go ahead and use the two of them together. So we'll get one here. And I know I should be repeating the attribute things, but again, why did you make them so similar? That's all I want to know. 66, 68. Mugbok looks lazily back and forth from the starfish to the ice slug and back again. Quite a collection you've got there. Which one did you want me to work on? Okay, so let's try just the starfish. This puts it at 14. Mugbok inspects your ice slug with some interest. I've never seen anything like this, but I have an idea. A96. All right. Mugbok hops to her hut. You hear the grind of mortar and pestle from within. Mugbok returns sometime later. Not my best work, but this should do the trick. Return discovery card 66. Replace it with 70. Sadly, we're taking away our starfish's friend. Freezing elixir. Oh, that is actually going to come in handy with the over here. Okay. Ancient Observatory again. And now we're going to do 6870. Because we found a spot where that would fix, but it wasn't able to stay in place. You pour your freezing elixir over the starfish, and it stiffens to a rigid 5-pointed star, which fits perfectly into the indentation in the wall. C35. You hear a click, and then a grinding of gears. A door opens in the wall before you, and leads you into an ancient Dergolium chamber. The earth shakes, the air crackles with green energy, and you catch a whiff of summer breezes blowing through tall prairie grasses. Before you, a leather sack rests on a pillar. Inside the sack, you find a set of oversized knuckle bones, carved with runes, an ancient tool for divination. The bones hum quietly and glow when you touch them. You quickly tuck them into a Dergolium chainmail sack. Earth and air are still again. The smell of warm grass lingers. Return 68 and 70 to the deck. And reveal rare card 44. Rune Bones allows you to generate and make anything a 3. So similar to the Jade item, which made anything a 6, this makes anything a 3. And that, I think, will be it. So we're going to end here. Thank you for joining me today. Please come back tomorrow. We'll do episode 7. Oh, I should probably read all the end, right? I should go to the end. Let's go to the end. All right. You head northeast from the Bogroot Swamp, following close to the Stone Spine Ridge, which keeps you mostly out of sight. Even so, you sense that the hounds of Kulbak are still on your trail. Unless you find someplace to hide, it's only a matter of time before they drag you back to prison again. After many days of travel, you must leave the shelter of Stone's Pine Ridge and walk through open farmland. Every small town you pass through is plastered with wanted posters, bearing your name and description. You take to walking at night and hiding during the day. As you travel, you reflect on your time in Bogsroot. You freed Elsifor from the giant Mangrove and bested him in battle, freeing the frogkin villagers from Elsifor's test. Now that the shadow is loose in the world, perhaps he'll think twice about challenging you if you ever meet again. General Grick's trust in you will not last. News of your supposed crime will have reached him by now, and you can only imagine his rage. Grick is the type who would rather have you cut his face than lie to it. You pray your paths never cross again, or that you can clear your name before you see him again. And Triumph of the Faithful. Is that the other one I need to read? Yeah. You are sure that the faithful frogkin woman will be glad to have Bogros free of Elsifor. She seemed intent on saving a priest, even though he was clearly corrupted by Elsifor. You wonder if frogkin healing rituals are powerful enough to drive off a demon spell, or if a priest who failed the demon's test could ever be trusted again. In time, you arrive at the outskirts of Falindor, a small city that borders the Forgotten Forest. Rumor has it that the woods beyond Falindor are full of unruly spirits who guard the long-lost castle Carloval, a great wonder built thousands of years ago with satyr magic. If you can find it, you can rest until the hound gangs and bounty hunters give up their search. With Coolbox Ancients at your heel, you press onward through the streets of Falindor. Each player may now advance your characters, and we'll do that off screen. Everybody, thank you for joining me, and I will see you tomorrow.